See me poppin', I'm a blossom. I don't need a Batman to my Robin. I'm official on the dotted. You can hit a vroom vroom in my Rari. I'm not sorry, no, I'm not sorry. It's official, I'm a problem. I done made it this far. I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channels and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, welcome my love. Please stick around, don't be a stranger, and do consider subscribing. If this is not your first time here, you already know the drill. I see you watching me, watch me, baby. So go ahead and subscribe, guys. So guys, welcome to episode 6 of How I Survived a Marriage Scam. Guys, if you are new here, if you're watching me on Simpli Constance, this channel is strictly dedicated to discussing how my ex from Nigeria scammed me for a green card. If you are watching me here on Ify Constance, check out the I Survived a Marriage Scam playlist and go catch up, baby. So guys, in this episode, I am going to be discussing how to protect your children from scammers, from the scammers. There's so much information that I have to share, guys. I have information pulled up on this laptop. I have information pulled up on this laptop, and I am going to be pulling some information from my phone because I'm gonna be discussing things from multiple sources and I don't want to have to search it, so I already have it on my devices, so I'm not being like, okay guys, wait a minute, and having to cut the camera off and go back and forth. Guys, in my very first video, I discussed with you guys the fact that your children live through this situation with you. If you have children, they live through this situation with you, and they take in so many things, and their lives are impacted so much by this situation. I'm gonna start off by discussing with you guys some of the comments and the inboxes and the emails that I received, and then I'm gonna end this video discussing more personal things with me and my family and my situation, some of the things that, you know, that I want to share here, because you got guys, like I said, you know, the whole purpose of doing this is to help other people and to be as transparent as I can possibly be. I'm gonna start off by, and if you are here and you have been here through this process and you have read some of the comments on my videos, the ones I let come through, you actually have seen some of these comments, guys. When I say your children live through these situations, your children live through these situations. I'm gonna start off by discussing some of the comments and some on both channels, Ify Constance and Simpli Constance, and then I'm gonna discuss quite a few of the emails, and everything that I'm discussing comes from who are now adults, but they live through seeing their father scam their mother for a green card. In some situations, the father was also their father. In other situations, the father was not their father, you know, their mother's, you know, spouse. And, you know, their mother came in, married them, you know, had other children by them, but they witnessed the entire situation. And not only am I going to be giving you information that came from females, I have emails from several males that I'm going to share quite a bit of what they had to say and some of the things that they ask about, and some of the things that, you know, they're still struggling with till today. And a lot of these individuals, or, you know, their age range from, I think the youngest was 24 and the oldest was 40, I believe. So there's a huge age range, male and female. Guys, let me start off by going through one of the first comments in this, and you can go back and read this comment yourself. But this comment was on the how I found out I was scammed for a green card video. And this comment was on, excuse me, my Ify Constance channel. Okay, so this author wrote, and this is a female, and like I said, you guys can go back and, you know, and read it if you want. But she wrote, "I'm so sorry, girl. My Nigerian dad used my mom for a green card and her body. They were together 12 years when he abandoned us totally. Excuse me, when he abandoned us literally. And it took 2 years for the divorce, and it was awful. And the marriage was a nightmare. Abuse, cheating, drug use, everything. Everything. And this man is in his mid-60s, has been married 2 more times, and did the same thing to all the wives. And even the current wife, and these last 2 wives are Nigerian. But he's an elder in the Nigerian Pentecostal church in Washington, and they stick up for him. I shouldn't, but I tell the new wife to leave, but she's young and they have a daughter, and she wants her daughter to have both parents. Tragic reason to stay with someone. It's truly tragic because he has not learned and still blames the women in his life. I was talking to his current wife, telling her stories about growing up with him, and when she spoke to him, he tried to tell her that my mom put it in my head and that I did not know what I was talking about because I was too young to remember. It was the wildest thing I ever heard. She had no idea he used to be on drugs, that he had been to jail for a DUI because he took me and my little sister on a joyride up a mountain drunk and was putting us in the truck while pulled over because we wanted to play hide and seek, and the officer happened to pass by and saw it all. We were brought back to my mom, who was sleeping because she used to work overnight. She knew nothing of his past. He lied to her about his whole life, basically. It was crazy. So my heart goes out to you. My mom let my father ruin her. She never remarried and never even had a boyfriend afterwards. I am 40 and my mom is 60. She was 32 when he left, and she never recovered. Her distrust of men is so strong because of what he put her through. It's sad because I'm sure my mom will die alone now, and I know she wants to love, but she is scared. I hope you don't let this ruin you, but definitely be careful next time around. Don't give up on love." And let me, because some things I'm going to talk about are going to go into the replies. You know, I replied to her, and she replied back. And let me read you something that was in one of her replies. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Let's see this one. Because in one of her replies, guys, she discusses a little about how it has impacted her. And this part of it really, you know, stuck with me and hurt my feelings, because there are so many children who have lived through this, and it's the same thing with them. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. In one of her replies, she put, Ify Constance, and it's okay to feel your feels, and don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't. Your children definitely live it too. I'm 40 and unmarried and have been scared to marry because of what I saw my father do. Just in the past year or so, I even started having the desire to be married. I have worked to uproot all the trauma, and I'm sure I'll be doing it for a lifetime. But I'm most better. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Wish you and your kids the best in your future. This young lady is 40 years old. She was 12 when in her words, her father abandoned them. She watched the whole thing. With her mother and her father's relationship. She's 40. And she lived through a traumatic experience watching that. And it had an impact on her to hear that she's 40 and never wanted to be married or trust a man to love her the way that he should because of what she saw her mother experience. To hear that her mother was 32 years old. Her mother is now 60. She's never dated or had a boyfriend or anything from dealing with that man for 12 years. Guys, it's a lot. People who have never experienced it, it's so easy for you to say just get up and move on. But it's easier said than done. You have to be someone who actually lived through it and experienced it to understand. Let me pull. I got this laptop plugged up because it was about to die. I want to let you guys well, not let, and I may put them up on the screen, but I want to discuss some of the emails from the males, because it was, I don't want to say it was good to get male perspective or men or perspectives from men, because there's nothing good about this situation, or any of these situations, because it's something that never should have happened. As a mother, you should never have to protect your children from their father. As a mother, you should never have to protect your children from your husband. That's just something that never should happen. And to get this male perspective and see how some of these men discuss what they dealt with and what they saw, and how they're discussing that, because it was one in particular, and one thing that he said to me, and this baby is the youngest. He is the youngest that I have been contacted from, and at his young age, he is discussing how he is afraid to date, how he is afraid to fall in love, how he is afraid to interact with women because he is his father's child, and because his father's blood runs through him, and he doesn't want to ever treat a woman the way that he saw his father treat his mother. This baby discusses how his father would watch his mother struggle financially and wouldn't help her. He discusses how his mother worked 2 jobs to cover their household, and how his father wouldn't help. He discusses how when his mother did become brave enough to leave his father, how he tried to just totally break her down, how he tried to take her car, how he tried to get her evicted from her new apartment, how he would call and make CPS reports on the mother, and even because of the father's background, because he had a criminal background with certain things that he was doing. He said that he discussed how that the kids wouldn't be able to go with his father, and they could have, you know, they were facing being put in foster homes and being separated. He said there were 6 of them, 6 siblings, and how they were facing being separated and being put in foster homes, and his father didn't care about that. His father only cared about hurting his mother. And guys, that shit is sad, because with me and my situation, I can relate to so much of this. When my ex threatened to lie and call and say that I was doing certain things and saying certain things and harassing him and doing all these things that I wasn't doing when I worked for the government at the time, and how that could have had a negative impact on not only my finances but my children. How he tried to do me with this house, how he just didn't give a damn about what happened to my children, how, you know, he was playing with my mental health, and didn't care what that meant for my children. But when I read this young man's words, guys, it did something to me. I am going to have him on the channel at some point in the future. In the video, I'm going to post it on both channels, Simpli Constance and Ify Constance, because there was so much that this baby discussed. And he is in North Carolina. He lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we're not far from one another. But there is so much that this young man discussed. So many things that he saw. So many things that he's dealing with now. He's in therapy right now, trying to heal from the trauma that he went through because of what his mother lived through with his father. You know, he even has a lot of resentment towards his mother for it. And he's getting to the point to where he understands that it's easier said than done to just, you know, let me get up and walk away. But there were so many things that this young man discussed. And I don't want to say excited, because it's not anything to be excited about, but that's going to be a really, really, really informative video for a lot of you who are on the outside looking in and who have never experienced anything like this before, because people would love to tell you that, you know, it's not that serious, this didn't happen, the kids didn't see this, the kids didn't go through this, the kids didn't feel this, when these children live through so many things. And in one of my upcoming videos, I am going to also discuss with y'all that healing journey, because I think a video on that is very important. Even now, there are certain things that I'm still doing to make sure my life moves the way that I need it to move. So in an upcoming video, it'll probably be, because today is a happy new month, guys. Today is Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. But I'm going to do a video probably the end of this month, the beginning of next month, because there are still some things that I'm working on discussing that healing journey, and certain things that we do that and it's not doing, excuse me, it's not done with us really realizing that we are still traumatizing ourselves and putting ourselves through things to relive the situation and have memories and things that and flashbacks of things that we know that we've healed from, but sometimes we do so many things to cause those memories to be more ongoing than they should be, and cause those flashbacks to be more ongoing than they should be. So in that video, I am going to discuss things that we do, not even realizing that we're doing those things, and ways that we can stop doing that to ourselves so that we can move on and have healthy, happy relationships. Because guys, I refused to allow that situation to dictate where my life goes. But I get it. With that mom not being able to recover, in her daughter's words, and not being able to move on, I get it. 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 And the end of the day, they just want to be here. They don't give a damn about these children and what their actions cause. This young man, he talks about how, when his father reached that 10-year mark where, he can get full citizenship and everything, and didn't really have to deal with immigration, how he just picked up and was just, even though the mom had built up enough courage to just be like, whatever, but how, he discussed how his father just, after that 10-year mark, how he was just gone. In other emails that I received from children who lived through it, they talked about it. After that 10-year mark, they was just gone. In another email that I received from another young man, he talked about how his mother married a Nigerian man, and he talked about how that first year that he was with them, how it was okay. But then he started talking about how the mother was pregnant year after year after year after year after that. And this was so similar to me, because when I tell y'all, when I was with my ex, I was pregnant every year. Miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage. The first thing they want to do is pop them babies out, because they know when them babies start popping out, immigration don't want to separate families. Those babies start popping out, that's what they want to do. Pop them babies out, pop them babies out, pop them babies out, to stamp their citizenship. It's sealed. You got kids here. You have more than one. Let's get this thing stamped. But he talked about how, his mother was pregnant year after year after year. Just several things that she went through. And he does have 2 siblings, because his mother did, 2 of those pregnancies did result in, into 2 children. But he talks about how, once he became full citizenship after that 10-year mark, how he just left, how he doesn't call or anything with his children, how they don't even know where he is. He said the last time that they heard anything about this man or his whereabouts, they heard that he was somewhere in, I think, let me read it because I don't want to lie. I want to say Pennsylvania. And he said that was maybe 6, 7 years ago. But they just want to pop these kids out, guys, because I'm telling you, listen, me getting pregnant that was the so many red flags. And it's some other stuff I wanted to go over with you guys that I saved in my phone. I'm gonna pull that up, but because I don't want this video to be an hour long. You know what, I'm gonna get into this. Let me just go ahead and discuss some things with my situation and give you guys advice that I think would be really, really, really helpful. Whenever I receive, and I know I said this on other videos, but I'm gonna say it again. Whenever I receive any messages anywhere from any of you guys, especially on social media, the first thing I do is go to your social media page. And I know we all love our children. We are proud of their accomplishments, their milestones, especially when they're little. And there's just so many things that we want to share. But one thing I would really advise you guys to do, because I can look at some of your social media pages and tell everything about your children from the day they were born. Everything they like, everything they don't like, everything they have, their favorite color, favorite food, favorite toy, where they like to go, where they don't like to go, just every single thing, their favorite character, favorite TV show. I mean, you're sharing your whole life, their whole lives on social media. Stop doing that. Guys, stop doing that. And I get it. I used to be the same exact way. But one thing that going through this situation has taught me is to be very selective about what I show, who I show it to, and who I allow into my space and into my children's spaces. And I hear so many things that I really don't care about because my life is not as open as it used to be. When it comes to my children, I shut everything pretty much off. There are certain things that I may share about my older children, but even with them, there is some things that I just don't share. Even when I shoot these videos, guys, I shoot these videos and I am very intentional about where I record. I either record sitting in a particular seat in my car, usually the driver's seat with the camera turned a certain way. So if there are certain things that belong to my children in the back seat, they won't be seen. Or I sit in a corner in my bedroom where you can't see anything but maybe a curtain and a wall, or I sit here on my bed where there's nothing shown. When it comes to my children, it's up to me to make sure that they're okay and that they are covered and that they are protected from certain things. And I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to allow anyone to use my children to secure anything, citizenship or anything. I'm just not going to do that. And I don't care what people say, and y'all need to be that way. I hear so many things that my children belong to someone that somebody had talked to. So it was something crazy that my ex told me one time, and it was the craziest thing in the world. I know everyone who watches my videos don't love me or care about me and support me, but if you are the person, and I know this was a lie, but I'm gonna still say it anyway. If you are the person who claims to be my children's mother, I want you to comment on this video. Please do. I want you to comment on this video and tell me about my children, honey. Comment on this video. Let's have a conversation. I would love to meet you. I would love to meet you. I would love to sit down and talk to you here on YouTube and let everybody see who you are, since there is someone out here, according, you know, according to my ex, that is supposedly my children's mother. My children that I've never even shown on any social media platform. I'm sorry guys, y'all know how I get, but my children that I've never showed on any social media platform like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or whatever else, that have never been shown on Simply Constance. I think I'm blurred guys, but I hope I'm not, on Simply Constance or Ify Constance. And on Ify Constance, you know, that may be a lie. I had to go back, and because my ex was talking to me, I think it was, it's what, September. It may have been, when the last time I talked to that jerk? January maybe, when this house is in foreclosure. December, January, something like that. And he said something like, I showed my twins on YouTube. And I knew better than that, because I never have. So I went back and looked through videos, and my iPhone that I let Nadia use, they were the screensaver. They still are the screensaver. I just updated the picture. As a matter of fact, they're the screensaver on all my phones, where all my kids are. And I look back at it and I'm like, even if you stop the video where the little second or whatever went by and zoom in, you can't really see them. They look like me, light bright me on that screensaver. You really can't see their features, like nothing. And it didn't even dawn in my brain when I was, you know, shooting those videos, whatever. And I don't care if you go back and look it up, but I mean, you really can't see them. So I would love to speak to the person who claims that she's their mother. Comment on this video. I would definitely let the comment come through, you know, and we'll have a conversation. Because I would love that. I would love that, but whatever. But you know, when people don't have access to your life and to you like you want them to, that's what happens. And I don't care, because I'm gonna say this and people could take it however they want, but you would never get the opportunity to tell me more than once that you don't want my children. Okay? Because when people hate you, they will hate your children. And because they hate you, they will treat your children a certain way. These young adults who live through this situation as children, they all had multiple things in common. The first thing, when their fathers got what they needed, which meaning they had been in the U.S. for 10 years, so full citizenship, they were gone. Didn't give a damn about them, didn't give a damn about their mothers. When their fathers were married to their mothers, they saw how poorly their mothers were treated. They saw how their mothers struggled to keep their families together. They saw how their mothers struggled to support them financially because their fathers refused to do it. They saw it. They saw their mothers being abused. They saw their mothers being used. They saw their mothers being pretty much dogged out. And none of them, even the males and females, none of them are married right now. None of them have children right now. None of them are in serious relationships right now because they are still trying to heal from that trauma. They're still trying to heal. Guys, this shit is so real. That's why I'm saying, if you are going through this situation, mothers, please. And I know men go through this too, but I'm saying mothers because at the end of the day, it's usually us who deal with it the most. It's usually us who are left picking up the pieces. It's usually us who are left to provide for these children. We don't get a break or a day off or a minute off. We can't stop life and say, I'm going through a mental breakdown. I can't take care of my children right now. We have to still provide for these children while we're going through what we're going through. So mothers, I'm telling you, if this is something that you're living through right now, you gotta find the courage to break away from it and to get away from that, because you are killing your children's spirit. You are killing who they can be going into their adult lives. You're having an impact on their relationships and them being able to love and trust. You're having an impact on that. And that's one thing that I had to come to the realization and realize, you know, when I would look at my children, you know, I told myself, I can't. I can no longer allow my children to see me living through this. I can no longer allow my children to see me dying on the inside. It's like day by day, I was dying on the inside. And I couldn't do that anymore. And I couldn't allow Jayla and Nadia to think for one moment my mother lived through this. My mother allowed somebody to treat her like this. So when they become adults, they feel that it's okay. I couldn't for a moment allow Camion to think that it's okay for him to treat a woman poorly and treat a woman like that and use a woman like that and just not give a damn. Anyway, I couldn't allow that. I just couldn't allow that. You know, for my babies, it's so many things that I'm never going to allow them to be introduced to. It's so many things that I'm never going to allow them to see. It's so many people that I'm never going to allow them to even acknowledge or even know who they are. And mothers, you got to do it. You have to make those calls. You have to make those calls, because you don't want your children growing up and being afraid to love. You know, I don't want, and I'm going to discuss this in my video on, you know, on healing, but I don't want you to be afraid to be happy and to love again. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. I fought my way through it. I am still putting things into place right now to make sure that I can get through it. Guys, I literally shut my whole life down for over 2 years because I had to get through it. I stopped dealing with pretty much everybody but my children and those who worked for me, because I had to work. I had to provide for my children, but I stopped everything else, you know, because I had to become okay and to become whole for me and for my children. I just refused to let this situation dictate where I went from there. So mothers, you have to put the work in and you have to do it, and you have to protect your children, and you have to make those hard calls. And there is not one mother that I spoke with that being through this situation where these men are still a part of these children's lives. They're not. They don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about them. But they can tell you every aspect of this child's life because of what you put on social media. And that's crazy. You're sharing too much, and you're doing too much. Those who are important enough in your life, they should already know what's going on with your children's lives. You don't have to share it publicly. And like I said, I know it's easier said than done because I used to be that person once upon a time, even with you know, their family members. I still have family members of my ex that will send me messages on Facebook from time to time, or if I post something, you know, they're liking it and they're commenting on it, and I don't care anything about that because I know it's bullshit. I know it's just for show. I'm not crazy. You know, I even had one of his family members send me a message and ask me for pictures of my babies at one point. Y'all know I ain't saying that food, no damn pictures of my babies. I sent him anything but who you think I am. Seriously. You crazy as hell. So don't fall for it, especially when you have, you know, them, they've never really had a relationship with you before. You know, those family members, like I said, never really had a relationship with you before, never have done anything for your children, never really have done anything for you. But out of the blue, they're acting so concerned. They're just calling you to dig for information. Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Don't get them any information about your children. Not at all. For them to manipulate stuff and try to, you know, shit, they scam. That's what they're known for. So for them to send something to your ex and for them to manipulate something and we don't crop their face in the picture and their body and make it look like they've been with your just don't. Just don't. Don't overshare information when it comes to your children. Don't. You know who really loves you and who's been there for you and your children. That's what's important. Let people say what they want to say. Let them think what they want to think. It is okay. Like I said, I hear so much shit about me. And it just tickles me because I don't care. I don't care. I live my life in real life. I know who's here in my life. I know who isn't in my life. I wake up with my children every morning. I go to bed with my children every night. So anything else, it just doesn't matter to me. I don't care about anything that anyone says. Because at the end of the day, I'm a present parent. And I'm always be a present parent. I know what my kids are 24 hours a day. You know, I know what they look like. I know what they like. I know what they don't like. I know what they sound like. You know, there will never be a time that I can walk by one of my children and not know who it is. You know, never be a time. So guys, just do what you can do to protect your children because you don't want them to be in a situation where they're growing up like so many of these young adults who have witnessed this situation. Protect these babies. They deserve better. They deserve a chance at growing up and being happy and being able to fall in love and love correctly and allow their spouse to love them correctly. They don't deserve to be afraid because they're traumatized because of what they've seen you live through. Protect your children. Be brave enough to say, enough. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to allow you to do this to me. And we're done. And let it be done. Protect your children. Please protect your children. And don't let someone tell you twice that they don't give a fuck about your children. Don't let them tell you that twice. Don't let them tell you that twice. Don't let them show you that twice. You know? Don't. Because there's... I'm not even going to say that, but protect your children and stop oversharing. You know, if y'all have any comments or questions or anything, y'all know y'all can always comment them down below. Y'all know y'all can always email me, simplyconstance@gmail.com, ifyconstance2021@gmail.com. Y'all can reach out to me on Facebook. Y'all can reach out to me on Instagram. I wouldn't suggest Instagram because I rarely check it. I haven't checked, and I know I said I was gonna get better about this. I haven't checked my Instagram messages in over 2 months, probably. I think, y'all, it's probably been 2 months. You know, but y'all can reach out, and you know, we'll go from there. I've had someone commenting on my videos telling me that they have sent me emails, but honey, I'm telling you, you haven't emailed me. I have checked the spam folders. I had some of my employees that I let go through some of my emails, check my spam folders, check all my emails. I do not have one email from you. So, might be a fake page, but whatever. Just comment in the comment, but whatever. But, any questions or comments, please reach out to me, guys. And whatever I can help you with, I definitely will. But just do what you have to do to protect your children at all costs. Keep all their business off of social media. Keep all your business off of social media. Now these days when I'm on social media, you know, Facebook, TikTok, I am posting straight damn tomfoolery 24/7. I may post some inspirational stuff here and there. I may post some business stuff here and there, but like when it comes to my children, it's really nothing nothing really private. Nothing really private. I have learned to keep that stuff with certain people. I have family members that have never met my babies, and I would never allow them to. You know, they've seen them because they were in the vehicle with me at certain places, but I didn't allow them to touch them or interact with them in any type of way. Because it's just certain spirits and certain people that I'm never going to allow. You know, I found what works for me and my family. I found peace. I found happiness. And I'm just not going to allow anyone to change that. Protect yourself and protect your children. Everyone isn't for you, you know. So protect yourself and protect your children at all costs. So guys, that's this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I love you guys to life. I love you guys to pieces. Don't forget to always pray. Put God first. Love on those who love you back. And I will see you guys in episode 7.
See me poppin', I'm a blossom. I don't need a Batman to my Robin. I'm official on a dotted. You can hit a vroom vroom in my Rari. I'm not sorry, no, I'm not sorry. It's official, I'm a problem. I done made it this far, I'm not sorry.